Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is the Unit Showcase. Unit Showcase is where we look at different units from different games. In this video, we'll be taking a look at miniatures from Northstar Military Figures. These figures are for the Silver Bayonet game. The Silver Bayonet is a wargame rulebook designed by Joseph A. McCullough that combines historical Napoleonic battles with fantasy, gothic, horror elements. It's a skirmish level game, meaning it focuses on smaller tactical engagements rather than the large scale battles. The game is miniatures agnostic, but we'll be looking at the figures that Northstar have released for the game. Today we're taking a look at painted miniatures and specifically the British second unit set painted by the very talented SL. If you've been with the channel for a while, you might remember I did a flip through of the Silver Bayonet rulebook about a year or so ago. Well, fast forward to now, and we've got some beautifully painted figures from that same gothic horror Napoleonic skirmish game ready for the tabletop. So, let's dive in. First off, I asked SL, why get this unit? And according to SL, this British second unit was picked up primarily to provide an opposing force for his French. So, got some French coming. A practical choice, but also a fun one since he decided to paint the figures mostly out of the box, meaning matching them up with the box art, sticking close to the semi-historical vibes of the set. So, what you're getting here is basically some historical inspired Napoleonic troops with a little bit of that Silver Bayonet flavor. Quick note on colors. I still based most of the blue uniforms on Citadel's Alightok blue, shaded with Kanto blue and dry brush with Lothan blue for the highlights. This gives the unit a nice pop without going too cartoonish. He took cues from British uniforms at Waterloo to keep things grounded, but still visually quite striking. But let's get to the figures. The Naval Officer. The Naval Officer gets a little custom treatment, a slightly greenish blue jacket with red facings and a red-blue cockade. Now, historically, the black cockade might be more accurate, but as SL notes, it's barely visible, so the colorful alternative helps the model stand out a little bit. He also points out some sculpting quirks, straps that kind of disappear into nowhere. But, you know, we've all been there. This is, however, a very heroic looking leader figure. His double pistols posted in the front hints that he's ready to jump right into the action. His face seems to be shouting a command of some sort. His bows look action ready. Grenadier. Next, the Grenadier, painted with yellow facings to represent the 44th East Essex Regiment. Nice touch there, SL. SL went for something different instead of the usual blue facing, and it pays off. Again, there are some strap oddities, missing connections, floating gear, but the ending brings cohesion to the model. Interesting detail though. The back is painted like it's full of torches or Roman candles, giving it a bit of a character. I think it's the bulk of the figure that gives the figure an action vibe. The Grenadier does not look like anyone you want to mess with, and I agree that the missing straps, once you see it, it's very difficult to unsee. Native Scout. Then there's the Native Scout, painted in earthy browns for a grounded natural look. She's wielding a war club inspired by the last of the Mohicans movie. Historically it's brown, but in the movie it's blue. So SL split the difference with a brown and blue scheme. Her necklace is done up in beautiful beads to add contrast. And while he says He screwed up the eyes. I'd say it works as a whole. I think the native scout looks like a simple figure until you see the amount of detail that is painted onto the figure. The necklace, for example, is a little exercise in patience, but look at the result. Such small detail does wonders for the figure. The Marine. The Marine comes in next, looking exactly like a standard British Marine of the era. Blue facings, functional design, and surprisingly, the straps actually make sense on this one. Hurrah! Small victory. I must say that this figure is great for someone who is currently painting Napoleon figures to take a break from the rank and file and paint something a little bit more unique. Light Cavalry Woman. The Light Cavalry Woman is where things get even more interesting. The box art suggests the 15th King's Hussars, but SL went with the 18th King's Irish Regiment instead. While she's missing the red and white plume, typical of Hussars, she's got some gold trim boots that make up for it in flair. It's great. A little mix and match goes a long way, I say. This is a very nice looking figure, envisioning what a cavalry woman would look like, and not falling into the tropes of sculpting to overdo the figure. You know that this character can definitely mix with the best of them. The Heavy Cavalryman. The Heavy Cavalryman is painted up as a lifeguard, or at least as close as possible given the box art. He's got the right helmet, but there's a cuirassier thrown into the mix, which complicates things a little bit. Still, the final look fits the part and definitely reads elite heavy cavalry. The bulk of this figure gives the figure a sense of action, I think, as well. The pose is tight. There's a sense of trepidation as well in the figure's narrative. The Sailor. The Sailor is kept pretty classic. Another Royal Navy Marine with standard blue facings. Very simple, clean, effective. It's a simple looking model, but I think the pose really helps sell the figure. With a saber in hand, ready to bring down into action, the uniqueness of the character is how simple, menacing it looks. The Occultist. Now, finally, the Occultist. For this one, SL decided to go with brighter colors, green shirt with brown plaid skirt. It does admit though that the plaid worked better at 15mm than 20mm due to the contrast issues, but I think it adds some nice variety or variation to the group. It's got a nice touch of mysticism and flair, which suits the tone of the silver bayonet perfectly. This figure sculpt is filled with story potential and narrative capital. The broomstick as the main weapon, for example, I mean, what's it for? The backpack, what interesting things lies within? A very evocative figure. So there you have it, a full breakdown of SL's British second unit for the Silver Bayonet. A solid mix of historical references, creative decisions, and just enough critique to keep things grounded. This is classic SL. With bright colors, black lining, and effective highlighting, these figures stand out on tabletop for sure. I always love seeing how people interpret figures like these, especially when they balance between historical accuracy and tabletop style. Also, huge thanks to SL for letting me show these figures. As for the range, I must say that I like the art direction for these figures by Northstar. These are their bespoke models and can be drawn on for inspiration when you are kit bashing your own. Looking forward to feature more of these figures in future videos. Now, if you painted your own Silver Bayonet minis and have thoughts on this set, do drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the old flip through if you haven't already. Until next time, don't forget to enjoy painting.